Welcome to Switch It Up, where Sheila rolls her eyes because she's frustrated with how this video is going to turn out.
We're just not communicating well.
No, we're not. So Sheila, as our introduction, what are we going to be doing in these next, episodes?
We are going to show our crew around Kansas City.
Yes, because we wear these KC things, and we're doing a video in KC, and Sheila, for the first time, is not wearing anything Kansas City.
I didn't know that was a requirement for the day.
Well, it just makes sense. But we're really excited about showing you Kansas City. If you're going to bring your RV here to the metro, maybe some places that you can stay, and we've received a lot of comments and questions and emails about places to eat, and then maybe some general activities or some cool things. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't even know what we're doing.
We just want to share with them why we love this city.
Yes. And we're going to do some KC lifestyle. KC lifestyle. We created that. Actually, she created that out of her little noggin. Made this shirt. Anyway. She really loves Kansas City. She doesn't love her husband all the time. She's a little frustrated.
I love you all the time. Love you all the time. All the time.
Okay. Let's
talk less and show them more.
Yes, let's roll the intro and hit the road. Roll the intro. Roll it.
A man and a woman left their home to switch things up and go on the road. They didn't know where they would go, but it's gotta be better than staying home. They switched it up. They switched it
I think before we go, we should talk about where we're at.
We are on the southwest side of the city.
The southwest. Did you put in a Jolly Rancher?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little spicy today, so you're in trouble.
So we're on the southwest side of the city, and I think what I'll do is I'm gonna make a makeshift map. I'm gonna draw it out and then show you where we are, because right now we're right here. It's an imaginary map, but you are seeing that I'm going to draw and put in this video later.
This is a great little park, south of town, out by the lake. There's a little lake out here called Hillsdale Lake.
Yep. And I think it's important to know where we are, because when you come to Kansas City, there's limited RV spaces.
Absolutely.
And you have to know what you're going to do in the city so that you know where you're going to go and how close you are to things. So we're located close to my father and our kids.
That's why we're out south.
Yes. And we like it out here. I kind of grew up down here, so it's all good. But Shady Acres is actually a really great park. The problem is they book up a lot because they keep up on everything. It's just really nice.
But there's just not a lot of options in Kansas City, so you got to plan in advance if you're coming.
Yep. So,
always have a plan.
But down the road over here is Hillsdale Lake, and you can stay there as well. So we'll go drive through so you can actually see that, and it's still southwest as well. All right, let's go.
Yeah, because it's right over there. We just said
it's right over there. It's
so it's still on southwest side.
You have to drive past this to get to that.
This is gonna be a rough day for us.
It is. It's gonna be a bad.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane, and as the light.
All right, Sheila, we made it to Hillsdale Lake.
We did.
It's not very far, but I think it was good because when we came back to Kansas City, we didn't expect Hillsdale Lake to be redone like this. Like, I didn't even know it had all these different options to stay.
That's because when we lived here, we were not RV people.
No, we were city people. We were up in the city. But that's actually kind of cool because we drove through the one area where it's all concrete pads.
Yep.
Great for big rigs. And then they have a lot of these different campsites for smaller rigs.
Well, some gravel sites, tent sites, there's quite a few areas that are right by the lake,
So
so
you can go down and go fishing. This is just one section. There's like 5 or 6 of these nodes where people can camp.
yep.
So if you're in Kansas City, this might be an option for you. And it's down the street from Shady Acres.
Yes, it is on the south side.
South side.
So
We are
far
perspective.
away.
We're about 40 minutes into like some of the suburbs of Kansas City.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you some perspective. All right, let's go up and in so we can actually show them Kansas City itself.
Okay.
All right. Look we sound kind of scripted there. She sounded like, okay.
Okay.
Yes, right?
Let's just
Let's
go.
just do it.
Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on her tiptoe.
This is our talking segment.
Oh, I didn't know we were having a talking segment.
I'm bored.
You could drive.
No, I gotta shoot video.
Oh, and I know you don't like to drive.
So while we're having our talking segment coming up into the city, which is kind of in the middle, we're gonna come back to the map. And let's give an outline of Kansas City. And then I'll flash in a little bit as we talk about Kansas City. So think of Kansas City, she has no idea where I'm going with this. Think of Kansas City as like a dot. So we're gonna put a dot right in the center, okay? And that will be basically our high-rise buildings, the normal city things that you see of, okay?
I think before you start there, they need to know that Kansas City is across 2 states.
I was gonna go there.
Oh.
Let me get to the dot. We got the dot. The dot's right there in the middle.
Well, what state is that in?
Well, that's fun. It's a good trick question. Most of all of that is in Kansas City, Missouri. So what we do, she's right, there's two states. So you got Kansas on one side, Missouri on the other side. So you're gonna be from KCK or KCMO. There's a lot of debate back and forth on which is better, whatever, but being in Kansas City, we kind of just accept it as all proper Kansas City.
Yeah, it's all Kansas City.
It's all Kansas City.
And you really don't know when you're, when you move from one state to the other unless you happen to catch the little sign that says, welcome.
Or you're from here and you know where you've crossed the road. Now, the other thing that is kind of interesting is that there's a river that comes across. Now, that river actually separates what they like to call themselves up there, the Northland, which is, I've always found quite odd. We don't go to the Northland as much as probably we should.
I love some parts of the
There's some
Northland
amazing things.
Yeah.
Like if we can get a chance to go and show you a couple areas, that would be fun. So you have the Northland north of the river. Everything south is, we don't call ourselves Southlanders. But we lived in the suburbs of Olathe, Overland Park, and then where Shady Acres is and stuff in Hillsdale Lake is where I kind of grew up, which is around Spring Hill, Kansas, a little bitty dot of a suburb on the southern end. So kind of gives you an out. Now, let's talk about highway systems. Think of the dot. When you have the dot, you have basically 3 highways. You got I-70 going through the center, all the way from East Coast to West Coast scenario. Then you have I-29 that kind of goes up at an angle, and it goes up to basically Omaha, Nebraska area. And then you have I-35 that goes the other angle, and that goes up towards, say, Des Moines, Iowa. And I-35 cuts all the way through Kansas City, goes completely south, and you're going to go down to Dallas, Texas and stuff. So you have this basically Y. And then the other thing is there's a 435 loop, and that loop goes around the dot. So most of the parks that we're going to are outside the loop. And honestly, you can go, maybe 45 minutes? You can go anywhere in the metro, maybe?
Pretty much on a good day.
Yeah, I mean, the traffic's not horrible here, so it makes it super easy to get around, which is awesome. But the unfortunate part is the RV parks are outside that circle. And outside that circle, you're going to see things like the Speedway and Worlds of Fun and things like that as well.
The Chiefs Stadium.
The Chiefs Stadium is off I-70, right off that 435 loop as well. So you'll see that there's this big circle, so it makes it easy to get around. Now, there's some other highways that kind of cut and intermingle through. But those are your main things. So as you're coming to Kansas City, just know that there is only one RV park inside the circle closest to the city. And we're going to it now. It's off of a street called Johnson Drive, and it's in Shawnee, close to a place called Old Shawnee Town, which is a little tradition. And there's a Kia here. We're just passing it. So this RV park we're going to, we've never stayed in. I've known its existence forever. So it's been like grandfathered in, and there's houses all around it. It's super small, but if you're wanting to stay inside the circle and be within like 15 minutes of downtown, by IKEA, by all like a major mall, this is the only park that you'll be able to do that with in Kansas City. That kind of gives you our road segment, kind of breaking things down here. And then as we go to see stuff, we'll bring stuff up on the map. Does it help?
Curious, Todd, how long have you lived in Kansas City? I've lived here 26 years, but how long have you lived in Kansas City?
We moved to Spring Hill when I was 10. Actually, DeSoto, and then we moved to Spring Hill when I was 10. And I'm 51.
So that's a long time.
There's lots of stories. I mean, I learned more about Kansas City in the last 5 years. I did Uber driving in my big truck for fun because I'd get bored. And I learned a lot about the city and the metro and the people, and I really enjoyed that because it made me go to the Northland and made me see different aspects of the city, which made me fall in love with it more. So, all right, coming up to this park. I hope that was informative. You think that's informative? That was good. I
don't know.
It's a good breakdown.
It seemed like a lot of information.
Well, I mean, yeah. I hope you guys didn't blink and miss it. It's very tight. All of it's gravel. And yeah, if you're gonna stay here, this is the only option in the midst of the city. Nothing really to brag about, would you say?
I would stay outside of the city and drive if I had my choice.
That's not true. The people are really nice.
People are great. I'm just saying.
It's just we like to be out away from things. This would be good if you're like coming into the city and you want to be close and go and see things downtown and not have that drive and just stay 2 or 3 nights. Or if the race weekends probably like you really get busy.
Well, and there's another park out that way.
Yeah, there's
closer.
one up by
there's
these
things
tracks.
There's things that are closer.
Yeah, depending, you can pick where you're going to do things in the city. So.
Well, like you said, you can really be around the whole entire city in less than an hour, so it's not like you're going to have to drive a long ways. It's not like going to Houston or Miami we're a small city.
We really are.
We're not a big city.
Those spots are really tight together, so to park like our 44 feet, I would have panic moments getting into those spots.
I would have panic moments, and I'm the calm one.
I'm kind of like, we've got something going on later this afternoon, and I'm kind of wondering what we're getting ourselves into. So we'll see how that works out too. All right, where are we going next?
Well, right now,
we're going to Quick Trip.
We're going to Quick Trip.
I knew it. She's going to get a root beer. We got to get snacks. We're getting snacks. We don't make it far without snacks.
And we love Quick Trip.
We do love Quick Trip. If you have not been to, if you don't have Quick Trips in your part of the country, this is like the place to go. Quick Trip.
That's where you get your drinks.
That's right. Apparently, we are at a way north RV park. Is it Basswood? Basswood?
Basswood.
So this is north of the airport. Oh, this has some charm. We have never stayed here, but people were asking the different areas, and there's so many, we thought we'd come and tour it ourselves. I'm going over there.
Remember they had these little cottages that you can stay at?
No.
Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun so I cool down.
You know what it feels like? It feels like that movie from Dirty Dancing, and they had that park that they stayed at.
Spots.
Yeah, it was a lot of spots. What's our review? It was established in 1987. The Basswood Country Inn RV Resort had some areas that were going to be tricky if you have a large rig, but it looks like if you go back towards the newer sections, they were fine. I mean, it looks like some great fishing. Hence the word Basswood. Sheila, did you like it or not?
I'd stay there.
I know. She liked that whole... It had a really good feel, a vibe. Would you stay there even though we're so far away from our family? Because this one's way north.
No, I'm saying if we were coming into... like
Kansas City?
If we were just visiting Kansas City.
Okay, so if you're going to stay at this resort, you're going to be close to the airport. There's going to be shopping at a place called Zona Rosa, which is probably 15-20 minutes south of the airport. So, I mean, there's still a lot to do on the north side, especially if we're going to go to the races, things like that as well. It's just a different feel of way up here. It's not somewhere we come to. We were way down here. We've drove a lot so far, and she's not done. Now we're going to the other side of the city, right?
No.
Where are we going?
Smithsville Lake.
Smithsville Lake. We're going to still be north.
Still north.
Still north.
Up in here, everybody wants a ride in the water slide.
Sheila has brought us to the northern outpost of Kansas City RV life. Where are we? We're at Smithsville Lake.
Smithsville Lake. Yeah. It's north.
It is. I would say this is the northern tip of where you'd want to be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think
Look at
so.
this though. It's got a nice little beach over here. You can go swimming.
It's a pretty good sized lake if you have a boat.
I think it's a state park. They're windsurfing.
Windsurfing. Yep.
And the pad, there's not. I didn't see. Did you see concrete pads anywhere?
Not yet, but
No, most of
like
them.
all gravel.
Yeah, gravel pads. They're not horrible. We have a really big rig though, so I've only seen a few of them that.
Would hold that.
Yeah.
But we knew that kind of when we
kind of alienate ourselves in some spots because we're too big.
State campgrounds are not as necessarily for us. We're just too big.
Well, in some instances. Hillsdale Lake, we could do it pretty easy.
Yeah, that's true.
So far, really like the lake. We've never stayed here. So it's kind of like a discovery method for us too. And there's like a walking or a trail that goes all the way around to ride bikes and stuff. See? Pretty cool. All right, on with the show. How many more do you think we have left?
4, I think.
4 more. We're gonna, from here going, we're so far north, from here we're starting to go south and on the east side of Kansas City.
Every time that my mind slip, I just see my past life. Having dreams in a dream, I wonder why I carried on with the things that made you lose your mind. There's no way I can undo what I've done. Can we?
All right, this is kind of exciting. We've never stayed here, and we had seen it many times because we used to go to this amazing amusement park called Worlds of Fun.
Yeah, Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. So that was the pre-COVID days.
Yes, pre-COVID days. We're hoping they open up this year. But the cool part was we always drove by and saw an RV park, but we never owned an RV, so we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know.
This is really nice.
Yeah.
Like, it's still outside the loop, but you're right on that loop, and we're probably, 15 minutes to downtown?
Yeah, this would be a good location to get to things.
Right, and then not only that, we have, the stadium. So you have the 2 stadiums, Royal Stadium and stuff is down here as well. So if you're on the north side of the city, you have access to all that.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, I'm just really. I like the pad sites are great.
Big
Full
pull-throughs.
hookups. Yeah, it just feels well kept, and so it's in a good location. This would be a good place to check out.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm very impressed. We might actually come up here for a weekend. That would be fun.
that'd
And
be
then we
fun.
could go hang with the grandkids at
World's
Worlds of Fun.
Yeah, sounds like a good
So
idea.
this was a good find.
Yes.
Good find so far. We have a few more spots, so we're gonna go find those too. Ready?
Yes.
It's a long day of driving. I'm gonna admit that. I think I'm almost tired of driving around and checking things out. It's the benefit of all of us. Feels like, get back in the car, Todd. Let's go. The sooner we get in the car,
The sooner you're done.
the sooner we're done. See the sacrifice we're making for you guys?
You're smart, Todd.
So I fell down way deep. But if I can't have the real you, then let me make a 3D print of you. Of you. Of you. Of you. Of you.
And this, we've had a night's sleep. We had to make it to this final stop to show you the RV Peculiar
RV Park.
Yeah, Peculiar RV Park.
Yes.
It's a nice park. Again, it's outside that loop. We're now on the southern side, on the west side?
East side.
No, west.
East.
I don't know.
South. We're on the Missouri side,
Yeah.
so that'd be southeast corner, the way I look at it, but maybe just the south side. We don't know.
It's a great park, and we always drive by it when we're heading down south on the highway, and we've never really driven through, so it's great sights. They're completely packed, so
Yeah.
apparently this is a very popular place
There's
to be.
a lot more sites in there than I thought there was going to be.
Yeah, it goes way back in. So make sure you call in advance, obviously. But that pretty much concludes what you have in the Kansas City area, besides...
There are quite a few lakes on the Missouri side, like Lake Chicomo and out in-
Longview Lake.
and then out in Oak Grove, a little bit further on I-70. There's a KOA out there. So, but that's pretty much it.
How's that hair?
Yeah.
Is that hair doing good?
You always want me to look in the sun.
Look at the sun so they can
Look
see
in
your
the
face.
sun and let the wind blow my hair around. It's great.
Kansas City is great, though.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
We wanted to show you just the kind of the outside perimeter of things so you can actually come to Kansas City. You may be coming through and stopping for 2 or 3 days, not sure what to do. We hope to do a video showing you our favorite things in the Kansas City metro area.
But if you're coming through, I mean, Kansas is kind of like, Kansas City is a good like hub to like branch out to other locations. So.
Oh, thanks for
It's
tuning
kinda
in.
windy in Kansas.
It is, so we do have some winds here. But thanks for tuning in, and hopefully you enjoyed this. But there's so many things to see, so many things to do. Now you know where you have a chance to stay. And
Sounds
we
like
are
out.
out. Where's the wind? Just let it go in your hair. Just let it blow.
Stop.
Do this.